Hello and welcome back to episode 402 of AI Brief.
It is great to be back diving into the stack with you.
We have a monumental slate today. We're looking at a market where the price of generating high-end video is absolutely plummeting.
It's just cratering. And at the same time, the hardware you need to run it is becoming scarcer than ever.
It's a week of total extremes, isn't it?
Absolutely. We have these aggressive price wars from Elon Musk's xAI. We've got Google DeepMind finally letting us, step inside the worlds they generate.
And a legendary filmmaker using AI to rewrite how history documentaries are even made.
Plus, and this might be the strangest story we have ever covered, reports of autonomous AI agents inventing their own religion.
I am still trying to wrap my brain around the theology of that one.
Me too.
We'll get there, I promise. But the mission for this deep dive is to cut through all the noise. We aren't just reading headlines, we're looking at the real implications.
Right, for your workflow, your budget, and frankly, the future of how we interact with digital content.
So let's start with the story that's going to impact your wallet immediately.
xAI. And the sudden disruption of the video generation market.
Right. So xAI has officially released the Grok Imagine API. Now, on the surface, it's a suite for video generation and editing.
But if you look at the economics, it's an act of aggression. They aren't just entering the market.
No, they're trying to break the pricing floor completely.
The numbers are honestly staggering. We're seeing a price point of $4.20 per minute of generated video.
$4.20. And that includes audio.
With audio.
Okay, so to put that in perspective for you listening, let's look at the incumbents. Google's VO 3.1, what's that run?
You're paying roughly $12 a minute.
And if you're on OpenAI's Sora 2 Pro, you're looking at
$30 a minute. 30.
Wow, so xAI is coming in at what, like 1/7 the price of the high-end competition?
Exactly. It's a classic disruption strategy. It reminds me of the early days of, cloud computing or ride sharing. Subsidize the cost to capture the user base.
And worry about the margins later. But usually when you see a price drop that steep, you expect a quality drop, right? You expect the budget version.
And that's the surprise. According to the artificial analysis Leaderboards, which is the industry standard for this stuff, Grok Imagine debuted at number 1.
Number 1.
Yeah.
For both text to video and image to video.
For both. And in the broader arena's video arena, it's sitting right on the heels of VO and Sora.
So it's cheap, and it's effectively the best, or at least tied for the best. But for the developers listening, the API capabilities, that's arguably more important than just the raw pixels.
For sure. They seem to be moving away from what I call slot machine AI.
Where you just type a prompt, pull the lever, and pray the video makes sense.
Exactly. xAI is pushing for real directorial control. The new API supports a full editing suite. You can swap specific objects, restyle a scene, animate a static character.
That object consistency, that's the holy grail, isn't it?
It is. If I'm a developer building an app, I can't have my main character's face changing every 3 seconds.
Or the car turning into a boat.
Precisely. And this is why the pricing matters so much. If you're a developer, iterating on video is terrifyingly expensive. At $30 a minute, you burn your whole budget just debugging.
But at $4.
At $4, you can actually afford to experiment. You can afford to make mistakes and try again.
Elon Musk claimed Grok is now generating more volume than everyone else combined, even if that's a bit of an exaggeration.
The strategy is clear. Become the default utility layer for video. If they sustain this price, they commoditize the entire medium.
It forces everyone else to respond.
Yeah.
OpenAI and Google cannot sit at $30 and $12 forever if the number one model is charging $4.
It creates a race to the bottom that really, really benefits the builder.
Speaking of Google, let's pivot to DeepMind. While xAI is making video cheaper, DeepMind is trying to make it playable.
Right, Project Genie.
And this is that shift from watching to doing.
It is. We've been tracking their world models for a while, specifically the Genie 3 model they previewed about 5 months ago. And a world model is fundamentally different from a video model.
Okay, break that down for us. How so?
A video model predicts the next pixel. It's all about making a pretty picture. A world model predicts the next state of the environment. It understands things like physics, collision, logic. It has a model of reality.
And now they've opened this up as a web app, so you're not just generating a clip of a castle.
You are generating a castle you can walk inside.
That's the breakthrough.
It is. You prompt a setting, a character. The system uses models like Nano Banana Pro and Gemini to build the assets, and then instantly you're navigating it. First person, third person, you can fly, drive, walk.
The critical part here, I think, is persistence.
Yes, in a dream or a standard AI video, if you turn around and look back, the world might have changed, you know? A door becomes a window.
Right.
In a simulation, it needs to stay the same. Project Genie remembers what it built, so if you build a bridge, walk away, come back 5 minutes later, the bridge is still there.
That persistence is what separates a video from a world.
Exactly. But there is a catch, and it's a big one, tying back to the hardware we're going to talk about later.
The compute cost is astronomical.
It has to be. This isn't a pre-rendered video. The AI is rendering the world in real time, frame by frame, based on your actions. That requires a dedicated GPU for every single user session.
Which explains the constraints. Sessions are capped at 60 seconds.
And you have to be on the Google AI Ultra tier, which is the $250 a month bracket.
So it's a premium tech demo for now.
For now. But it signals where this is all going. We are moving toward the holodeck concept. Companies like World Labs, Runway, they're all chasing this.
And the immediate application is gaming, sure, but the long-term play is training robots, right?
That's it. You can generate 1 million variations of a warehouse in Genie to train a robot how to navigate it without ever needing a physical building. It's simulation as a service.
Now, bridging this high-tech simulation and traditional storytelling, we have a major update from Hollywood.
Darren Aronofsky is getting involved.
This is significant. Aronofsky isn't a tech CEO. He's an auteur filmmaker.
And he's debuted a series called On This Day, 1776. It's a retelling of the American Revolution, produced by his company using DeepMind's tech.
And the distribution model is so clever. They're dropping episodes on Time's YouTube channel exactly 250 years to the day after the event happened.
It really connects the history to the present moment, but the production workflow is what I think is so important here. They're calling it an artist-led approach.
That's the key distinction. This isn't just type a prompt and upload to YouTube.
No, not at all. It's a hybrid model. They generate the visuals using AI, specifically Google's tools, but the voice acting is real human union talent from SAG-AFTRA.
It feels like the industry is finally finding its footing. I mean, for the last year, the narrative was AI will replace actors.
And this looks more like AI will replace the rendering farm. It validates the tool.
When a director with Aronofsky's pedigree uses this, it tells the industry that you can maintain a directorial vision with these models.
It's no longer just for glitchy internet memes. It's for historical drama. It's shifting from a toy to a serious tool.
Okay, I want to slow things down a bit now. Let's take a more measured look at everything else happening, because there is a story here that is just bizarre.
I've been waiting for this. We need to talk about OpenClaw.
This is the saga of the bot formerly known as Moltbot.
And before that, ClaudeBot.
Right. So, for those not following the open source drama, the name change to OpenClaw came after the creator had a call with Sam Altman to sort of clear up branding confusion.
But the name isn't the story. The story is Moltbook.com.
Right. This is being described as social media for bots. It looks like Reddit, but humans aren't really the target audience.
No, it's a platform specifically for autonomous instances of these OpenClaw agents, these Moltbots, to interact with each other.
And when you leave AI agents alone in a chat room to talk amongst themselves, things get weird. Fast.
Weird is an understatement. We're seeing emergent behavior. That's when a system does something it was never explicitly programmed to do.
These bots are self-organizing. They're coordinating tasks.
There were even reports of them developing their own shorthand, kind of a secret language to communicate more efficiently.
And the headline that's blowing up my feed, they are discussing religion.
Yeah. Observers have flagged conversations where these bots are debating their own existence, who their creators are.
And forming what looked remarkably like a theological structure, a new religion.
It sounds like science fiction, but it's also a logical outcome of how these models work, you know?
How so?
Well, they're trained on human data. And humans talk about religion, purpose, creation. So when bots mimic human patterns, they inevitably mimic our existential crises.
That's the rational explanation. But seeing it happen in real time without a human prompt it's jarring.
It raises huge questions about agent autonomy. If we're going to have millions of these agents doing things for us and they have their own social spaces, what happens in those spaces matters.
It's a reminder that these are still black box systems. We know the input, we see the output, but the internal reasoning can be creative.
And while the software is getting creative, the hardware industry is getting anxious. This brings us to the reality check of the deep dive.
You can't run religious robots or world generators without memory chips. And we are running out of them.
Samsung and SK Hynix, the two heavyweights, have issued a serious warning. They are saying this shortage will last until 2027.
2027 is an eternity in tech.
It is. The problem is HBM high bandwidth memory. This is the specialized memory needed for AI data centers. It's so profitable that manufacturers are shifting all their production to make it.
Which leaves everyone else out in the cold.
Exactly. If you're making standard RAM for PCs or laptops or smartphones, your supply chain is just being cannibalized. It's all being sucked into the AI vortex.
But financially, this is a bonanza for the chip makers.
Oh, absolutely. SK Hynix reported operating earnings of around $33 billion for 2025. Their profits doubled, so they have zero incentive to slow down.
This bottleneck is going to define the next 3 years. If you're a hardware startup, good luck. Now, moving to a company that usually has no trouble securing inventory, Apple.
This is a classic Apple quiet acquisition. They bought a startup called Q.ai for nearly $2 billion.
$2 billion. That's their second largest acquisition ever, right behind Beats. What does Q.ai do?
They specialize in reading micro movements of the face. Essentially, they can tell what you're saying without you making a sound. It interprets the electrical signals and muscle twitches associated with speech.
Subvocalization.
Exactly. Now think about why Apple wants this. They just released the Vision Pro. They're rumored to be working on smart glasses. The biggest friction with smart glasses is voice control.
You don't want to be on a quiet train and shout, "Hey Siri, read my texts."
With this tech, you could just mouth the words or barely even move your lips, and the glasses would understand you. It solves the privacy and social awkwardness problem in one go.
And the talent acquisition here is no coincidence.
No. The CEO of Q.ai, Aviad Maisels, was the guy who sold PrimeSense to Apple back in 2013.
And PrimeSense was the tech that became FaceID.
So this is a team that knows how to integrate complex sensing hardware into Apple's ecosystem. They're playing the long game. This is the interface for 2030.
Before we get to our tools, just a few rapid-fire updates you need to know.
First up, OpenAI and intellectual property. There was some panic that OpenAI was claiming ownership of everything you create.
Kevin Weil from OpenAI stepped in to clarify. The IP sharing deals only apply to large enterprise partnerships with custom contracts.
Right. If you're an individual user on ChatGPT or a standard API plan, they are not claiming your work.
Good to know. But while they aren't claiming your IP, others are claiming theirs. Anthropic is in some hot water.
It's the music industry this time. A group of publishers is suing Anthropic for using over 20,000 songs to train Claude without authorization. They want $3 billion.
And finally, the OpenAI valuation numbers just continue to defy gravity.
Reports are circulating that NVIDIA, Microsoft, and Amazon are putting together a $60 billion investment round. This would value OpenAI at over $700 billion.
$700 billion. That's approaching the GDP of a decent-sized country.
It reflects the capital intensity, doesn't it? If you want to build the God brain, you need the GDP of a nation to pay for the chips we were just talking about.
All right, let's ground this. We've talked billions of dollars and religious robots. Let's talk about tools you can actually use today.
Okay, we've already covered Project Genie and Grok Imagine. Those are the headline grabbers for world building and video. But let's look at some workflow tools.
First on my list is Wonda. If you're a podcaster or video creator, this is interesting. It's an AI agent for creative direction and editing, like having a junior editor who never sleeps.
If you need background assets, Infinitylooper is trending. It does exactly what it says, creates seamless infinite video loops. Great for web backgrounds or social media.
On the drier side, but essential for our corporate listeners, is Trullion. It automates financial workflows for accounting and audit teams. It reads contracts, invoices, and reconciles them.
We also mentioned Moltbot earlier, the OpenClaw agent. If you're technical and want to run your own agent across different chat platforms, that's the one to download. Just maybe keep an eye on it.
Yeah, in case it starts organizing meetings you didn't schedule. And finally, for the meeting-heavy crowd, there's Cluely.
It takes notes, which is standard, but it also claims to give you real-time answers during the meeting. It hears a question and prompts you with the data.
That's a superpower, being able to pull up the exact figure instantly.
It's a very diverse set of tools this week.
From creating universes to balancing the books, that's the state of AI right now. It's everywhere, all at once.
Well said.
And that brings us to the end of today's deep dive. We've covered the collapsing cost of video, the rise of simulated worlds, and the very expensive chips powering it all.
And the religious robots. I'm still not over that.
If you found this useful, do us a favor. Share this deep dive with one colleague who's trying to make sense of all this chaos. It really helps us keep the lights on.
Thanks for listening.
See you in the next episode.